Morning, this is Bag Anon. Nice and quiet out here for once. Just came to stop by and say a few things. Basically, one thing that usually I like talking about, usually no one ever thinks of these kind of things. These poor cucks we talk about, your Aid Skrillex, your Carl the Cucks, all those kind of guys, the poor demasculated, blue-pilled, poor bastards we always complain about. One thing I think, and I'm not talking about Antifa. Antifa, you guys can go to hell. You can fuck all you guys, for real. I want to see Antifa come at me. There's no problem, trust me. But the poor blue-pilled guys, your emasculated Carl the Cox, your Aid Skrillexes. Those guys, if you think about it, if you really do take a look about it, take a look from a different angle, those poor bastards have been dealt a bad fucking hand. They've grown up with xenoestrogens in the food. They've grown up, with shitty culture around them, where boys drool and girls rule. Girls go to college to get more knowledge, all that silly shit. And they're really raised like that from a young age, school, even before that. The TV and the cartoons they watch, it's all ingrained in there. And on top of all that, you got the school system. Anytime the boys, start acting like boys, they get punished immediately. The way the schoolwork is, always stay inside the lines. Don't draw outside the lines. Always got to do everything perfect. If you do something wrong, you're going to hear about it. In general, just kids not being allowed to be kids. But even beyond that, with the boys, again, your history lessons, straight white men just are the absolute enemy of all life on planet Earth. All that bullshit, and it sucks. And these guys particularly, they've got the culture around them that tells them they suck, and it doesn't help them at all. They got, the chemicals in the food, your xenoestrogens, your lack of your testosterone, hormone blockers, your God knows whatever the fuck else they put in the food these days. And, as they get older, this is what takes place. That's why you see these guys with zero muscle mass. They can't even get fat. They're stuck skinny. They all wear glasses. They're all balding. They have just no testosterone. Anytime you see them, with girls, it's always these dumb SJW bitches, and they always fall into line with them. And I'm not saying, these blue-pilled guys, I'm not saying, feel sorry for them, don't make fun of them. No, I absolutely, we make fun of them. You're supposed to critique that. I'll make fun of those guys as much as the next dude. No, there's no problem. But also, when you gotta look at it from their perspective, you gotta feel sorry for them to some extent, because a lot of these guys, and you could see it in them, they're itching to be a man. They still have that voice in their head that says, I want to be a man, I want to be me, but they've just been suppressed for so long, and it sucks. And I think a lot of those guys, there is a way to win them back. We just have to get, that filter that's been forced into their mouths. We gotta get it out of them. We have to show them our way, getting rid of this filter, getting rid of this being politically correct, getting rid of this, always be nice to women. And if they're not nice back to you, well, that's your fault because you're a man. We have to love all these minorities. We gotta give blacks all our money, and if you don't, you're a racist. And then they hate you anyway because you're white anyway. We gotta find a way to get those guys back onto our side, because they're still men. Our movement is male-centric. It revolves around masculinity, because we know that that's where the problem is. That's how a society is sustained. That is how, your families, your economy, your everything. That's what men have to take care of. We, as men, are essentially, it's a man's world. We built this world. This road that you see paved, this car that this dude's driving, the bricks laid into these walls, this piece of shit building fucking 2, this camera that you're watching me talk into, this was all built, invented, and manufactured by men. And we're supposed to be told that we're the problem? Look at Sweden this winter. Female-centered snow plowing that, that ground all their big cities to a halt within a week. Because why? This bullshit. Again, I'm not saying, women need to bow down to men at every step. Of course not. But you need to realize who built this world that we live in, this society. You need to realize, who it is. And it's men like us. It's guys like us. Okay, I work a filthy, disgusting job that most men won't even do, let alone a woman. But I do it because, I need the money. It's a tough job. No one else will do it. And, there's a whole lot of other factors. But again, what I'm trying to say is, those guys, you call the cucks, you're all those guys. I still think that a lot of them, most of them, can be saved and brought back to our side. We just gotta show them the way. Not only do we have, what it takes, we also have the facts. We also have, the drive. It's on our side. No matter what happens, the conservatism, our right wing, it will always win, because that is what has brought together and maintained society. That, and our belief in God. Those are three big things, and we need to get it back. Whether you're atheist, whether you're Christian, whether you're nothing, whatever else you are, you can't really deny that a godless society can't hold up. Look at Europe. They got rid of God, and now who's coming in to replace that? Muslims. And it's not doing them too good. So, before I digress, before I start going off, just to say it one more time, these guys, they've been emasculated, they've been destroyed, they've been screwed out of a chance at being a man and living that kind of a life. And unfortunately, even though we can't save all of them, if we could just save a few, and also help the next generation, whatever they call this next generation, Generation Z, whatever name you want to call it, we get these guys back, we can get our society, our boys back on track. 'Cause that's ultimately what we need to do. Men, we are the leaders, and us being taken out of that leadership position and letting women in, and letting all these who I'm gonna say, letting all them in, it's not gonna do no good. We need to get them back. I would like to, for maybe not today, I'll be working, but when I am here, I'd like to invite a lot of you guys, a lot of you liberal men, all those guys, your social justice dudes. I'd like to invite you to a discussion. I'd like to talk about this, but man to man, no shouting, no name calling, no bullshit. Just man to man talking about this stuff, because this is something that in our lifetime we need to worry about. It really is. It's really taken a toll on us. Look at what this has brought us. This stupid ass chant. I haven't said this shit once every time I've been on the camera. I never fucking will. But it's brought us, it's given us a chance to see what and who really is out there. Despite being New York City, despite being Queens, despite being Astoria, this multicultural haven, we still see, a lot of guys like us, like me, a lot of us who come out here, people traveling from completely different parts of the country, maybe even the world, just to come out here and say what they gotta say. So, what I want to say is, let's have a discussion. We at least have intellectual diversity, which to me I think is the only type that matters, for real. You look at our movement, guys like me and all of us, the rest of a lot of even Paul. Most of us aren't even white, honestly. We're just, guys just trying to live our lives, just trying to go through our lives, make it, survive, just get by, even get a little extra ahead, what have you. But pretty much just guys who just want to live our lives, not be bothered with this stupid shit. I already work my ass off doing 2 jobs, doing some disgusting jobs, doing some tough shit, and that's to me what the real struggle is. It's I wasn't born into money, I wasn't that. You know, I don't have a trust fund. I don't have somebody with a house that when they die comes to me, and I don't have none of that. I don't have any of that. I gotta make my way out. You know, I gotta work. I gotta pick my own ass up from the bootstraps. You know, that's my struggle, and it sucks when when on top of that struggle that I have in my life, I gotta deal with some bullshit mama's boy, can't grow no muscles, fucking, you know, complete loser ass, getting everything handed to him on a silver platter since birth, telling me I gotta watch what I say. I gotta pay for his college. I gotta do this. I gotta do that for him. I gotta watch what I say. I gotta respect 10 trillion pronouns. You know what? I respect you when you're flying off a fucking Pinochet-style helicopter ride. That's what you're gonna do. Alright? What I want to say is, before I digress, to you guys, yeah, man, to you guys all out there, you know, you blue-pilled guys, you know, you liberals and all that, you hate us because you call us Nazis and all that. What I would like to do formally is hold a man-to-man discussion with you guys. We talk about this. Because I know that you guys, no matter how emasculated you are, you still want to be men. You still have that drive. You want to be the man. You want to be a leader. You want that, but your society has told you no constantly, time and time again, because you're a man and you're the devil. We've broken that. A lot of us have. I definitely have. We've broken that conditioning. We've gone past that. We feel a little bit more freedom. You know, we feel just more freedom like that. I'd like to invite you to come and check it out, to come and talk with us. And for those of you who want it, who are just afraid to, you know, come speak to me. Come to speak to, you know, this guy. Come speak to guys like us. We can help you.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, so I've been kind of listening a little bit to what you were saying.
Right.
On the train here.
Mm-hmm.
So, good morning, everybody. And that's your opinion, and I respect your opinion. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a woman. So, my mother, obviously, and I don't think you would be alive if it wasn't
no.
for a
I am
woman.
not saying, you know, I was not saying, you know, women aren't worth, no. Men and women, they have their roles in society. They do. They
Right,
both
okay.
deserve their praise. Absolutely.
I agree with that.
What I'm saying is, men, especially in this day and age, they've been
Now,
they have not been as nearly as appreciated as they should be.
Okay. Okay.
That's my thing.
No,
Men should be appreciated more.
And this is the kind of thing that should be brought into conversation more. People just generally giving their opinions, and people
respecting them and
letting them talk and everything.
Having a dialogue.
Obviously, I don't respect with. I'm sorry. I don't agree with. Thank you. I don't agree with everything he has to say, but he does have somewhat of a point, and I understand that he feels men right now are being attacked.
Yes.
Men are being attacked. I don't feel men are being attacked right now, and I don't like the idea of personally putting everybody into one category. Like, I don't hate people from the right side. I don't hate Trump supporters. I have friends that are Trump supporters. So specifically saying that I hate first of all, hate is such a strong word, and it shouldn't be used often. You saying that I hate someone is your opinion, you know, and that's not true, because I don't hate everybody, and I don't really hate anybody. But and also saying that men have been what did you say?
Demonized.
Demonized?
Dehumanized.
Dehumanized?
Yeah.
Okay.
To an extent, in some aspects. I'm
Well,
not gonna say, you know, I'm not gonna go on saying, hey, we've been oppressed, we're the actual oppressed ones. No, but I will say, you know, you see a lot of it out there. It's much more easier, and people are more easier beating up on men. You know, kind of giving men shit, even though they really didn't deserve it in a certain aspect. You know, cracking those jokes and all that.
Understandable.
You know.
I think there's always in any topic, there's always going to be an scapegoat. So, like, with what's going on right now with Trump, and what's going on with women's rights, and what's going on with LGBT, there's always going to be an scapegoat. There's always going to be somebody to point your finger at.
Yeah.
And that's necessarily not right. And I agree with you with that. It's not right. You should know all your facts and read as much as possible. But personally, putting everybody into one group and saying you are all this is what I don't agree with. I think everybody has different beliefs, and I know people that are not Trump supporters that I don't agree with some of the stuff they say. Just because they are a Trump supporter, they're not a Trump supporter, doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything they have to say. I don't agree with a lot of the things some of these people have to say. Now, with that being said, back to the women's subject, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mother. And I think you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your mother.
Right.
So I don't know how your mother would feel about what you're saying right now, but I know at the end of the day she's still gonna love you. So that's all that
No, my
matters.
mom loves me, and I'll say this: it was my mom that raised me a lot throughout my life. My dad wasn't. I didn't have a solid relationship with my father.
I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
it wasn't. I mean, he didn't hate me, but he didn't establish a connection with me. And on top of other things that happened, whatever. Now it's just like whatever. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I'm gonna go around saying women are the best, women are the. I'm not. I mean, well,
I don't think
I'm not gonna
I don't think
go-
nobody's telling you
Yeah.
to do that.
No.
Right.
But I'm not going to say that men aren't as useful. Men aren't. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go around.
Right.
I'm not gonna take the credit that I should be giving to men and giving it all to women. You know what I mean? Like that bullshit they do on Father's Day. Oh, all to the single mothers on Father's Day because they're the mom and it's like there's already a Mother's Day. Shut up. Leave the Father's Day alone to the people who have fathers. It's like don't try to muddy the waters like that. Father's Day. Oh, for all the Mother's Day. Oh, for all the single fathers. No, just Father's Day for the father. Mother's Day for the mother. If you don't have anyone to say Mother's Day to, just leave it alone.
That's the thing. There's always going to be negative people. There's always
like
going to
that.
be negative comments, no matter what is
Yeah.
what is being done and what is being held. So I think you gotta just learn to just brush some of that away, because that's always going to continue. No matter what I say, no matter what you say,
Yeah.
no matter how long you stand
Yeah.
here, no matter how long I stand here, no matter who anybody stands here, there's always going to be people that are going to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So I think I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and Father's Day and
Mother's Day.
but there's always going to be people that have a problem with everything, and I think
Yeah.
you just gotta pick. You gotta pick your battles. You
Yeah,
gotta
of
pick your
course.
battles, because if you go on, this stressful life of worrying about everything, I don't think it's gonna help you at all.
Right. No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But to some extent, what I would say to that is, I do agree. You shouldn't go around everywhere. Trying to pick all the battles you can. I understand.
Yeah.
That. But what
Because
I
at the
do
end of
say-
the day, it's only
Yeah.
going to affect your life.
Right,
It's only going to
yeah.
affect your life. It's only going to raise your blood pressure. It's only
Yeah.
going to make it's going to just make you stressful. It's
Yeah,
going
it
to make
is,
you
it
very
is.
stressful.
No, and it has, and it's done that to me until I decided, just gonna calm down. But what I would say to that though is, to some extent, you kind of do somewhat have to worry about it, because again, I mean, look at the past couple generations. Our parents and their parents, they didn't really bother too much. They didn't pay not too much mind about this stuff. But kind of look how it snowballs. Look at the days we have now. How crazy some of it has gotten. If they did purge it, or if they did nip it in the bud early on, it wouldn't be like this. But then again, how do you know about it? You can only know until so far down the road, till you realize, oh shit, this was what the problem was. You know what I mean? A leaky faucet isn't a big deal, but when it becomes, the house flooding, then you're gonna wish, oh, I wish I fixed the leaky faucet. But then again, I do say at some point you have to realize that this small problem, it can snowball. You kind of have to worry
I
about
agree.
it. You know?
Anything can snowball.
You should always look at something and say, well, if this is how it is now, if we leave it alone and just push it to the side, will it grow?
So sort of what sort of respect do you think women should get in society?
Women, absolutely respect them, for the mother role, the maternal role. Women will one thing.
Your mom raised you, right?
Of course,
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
And she did a lot of other
God
things
bless
too.
your mother.
Absolutely, and I'm not gonna take the credit away from her. Absolutely not. But also at the same time, I do wish I had a father figure. I do wish I had. I wish my dad connected with me more.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
I didn't really feel like he connected with me unless, I did something wrong and I messed up, and he would always be there to tell me when I fucked up.
So he was there to tell you only when you did wrong things.
That's what I
He
felt
was
like.
not there to praise
He
you
would
when you
always-
did right things.
Honestly, I never really got a lot of that as a kid.
Right.
Not just from my dad. Just in general. That
From men in general?
No, everyone in general.
Okay. Do you have a
That's always
brother?
so. Yeah, I have a little brother.
Do you have a sister?
No,
No? Okay.
younger brother. But thing is, he had a better relationship with my dad.
Right.
Because with my brother, it was he would always go for it. He would always do it. I was always, just chill, little me, whatever. I don't mind doing this, just sitting down, chilling. No, it would have to be him coming to me for it.
Right.
Which your father should do. With my brother, though, it wouldn't matter if my dad stood all the way. My brother would run onto it, climb on top of him. So we had a relationship with him because my brother didn't leave him no choice. To me, it was, it was a different. Me and my brother very, very different.
Do you have any kids right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did the way your father treated you teach you how maybe you should treat your children in the
yes.
future?
Yes.
So in a
I know.
way,
And not only that, it was, seeing my uncles and all that.
right. So in
taking as much as I can from other men that I've known in my life, my uncles and all that, and other, my friends and with their fathers.
right, exactly.
My friend's father, we live in the same building.
Right.
Me and him are like the same age. The difference between his dad was always involved with his
Right.
life. His dad, he can be one of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
When it was all of us, we're all, from the same country, so all of us kids, we were in a soccer team, and, we were all growing up, whatever. Me, usually, I never felt 100% connected. I know they were my friends.
Of course.
We grew up together, we knew each other since we were in diapers and all that.
Of course.
But, when you get to 16, 17, 18, you get, you start becoming that age where you know
Right.
you grow into who you're going to be. That's when I kind of broke off from them because I didn't feel as connected with them, but they were all still good. And thing is, all their fathers, they had a relationship with their fathers. The fathers always sat them at the table, taught them, handshakes, how to be a man, how to do this, I didn't have it with my dad. He didn't show me all that much
What's the
stuff.
definition of how to be a man, in your opinion? Because there's no definition. In your opinion.
To an extent, I do think there should be some basis to a foundation at least to the
Okay.
meaning. When I say be a man, how to be one of the guys, the social aspect.
Right.
How to talk with the men, how to, handshakes when you're at the
Of course,
table,
of
certain
course.
mannerisms,
Respect.
respect, things like that. Those very basic things that you don't think are, that do go a long way. Your jobs, your connections, your social, that social aspect of how to be a man.
Right.
I didn't really get that.
Now,
from
can
my
I
father.
can I just make
Which they definitely
Can I
got.
just try to make a point? Now, so what you've told me is that your dad was not a positive figure in your life, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't a positive figure in your life. So
Even though I knew he loved
you-
me,
of
he
course.
didn't do enough.
So from that, you also told me that if you do one day have children, you will be a positive figure in their life.
100%. No, 100%.
So now you look at a negative part in your life, and
turn it around.
you learned from it,
Yep.
and turned it into a positive effect.
Exactly.
So
That's the best thing you
do
can
you
do.
understand what I'm saying? Like, I agree that there's going to be negative people out there, but this is how you learn.
Yeah, of
And
course.
you're
gotta
always
reflect on it.
you're always gonna love your dad no matter what. Hopefully, and don't take my words. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that's how you feel. But you took a negative thing, and you turned it into something positive.
Right.
Because one day if you have kids, you will show them the
What my father didn't.
You will show them the father you
That I wish I
always
had.
wanted.
Yep. That I
So
wish I had.
it's a great thing, and I really
That's 100%.
listen, and I really respect that.
Thank you.
I really respect that.
Definitely. Definitely got another half an hour. Yeah. That's and I think a lot of it stems from a lot of these guys that I was talking about earlier. They don't have father figures in your life. They don't have it.
I think I
No.
think everybody should have it.
He will not divide us.
Have a good morning.
You too, man.
Okay.
I think everybody should, in general, anybody should have a father figure,
Yeah.
and everybody should have a mother figure.
Absolutely.
But it's
You need
unfortunate.
you need both.
It's unfortunate that people don't.
Yeah. No.
I don't. I don't agree with some of the stuff that you've said before I got here, but I can tell you're a very respectful man, and I respect you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is what we need. Agreed. Now we don't have to agree to disagree. We don't have to. But as long as you're respectable enough to listen to the other guy and learn from it and take from it and have conversation and dialogue, that's it. Again, it's got to be give and take.
And I don't want to mock anything that he's saying, with all due respect. I love all women out there. I love my mother. I love everything that women are doing for women. And I'm not trying to take away anything from men, but I do believe, like I said, I came from a woman, so I'll never be superior to a woman. I will always be equal to a woman, and that's just my opinion. So take it for what it is, you know.
Yeah. That's what I just wanted to say.
Cool, man. I respect people that come out here and give their opinions and are respectful about it.
Yeah, I'm down for the dialogue. Hell, I'm down for the trolling too. I love that. But then again, I like being serious too some of the time. There's a time for the fun, there's a time for the seriousness.
I agree, and I agree. I think I would like people to just come out here and give their opinions, not just.
And when somebody is coming here willing to talk, at least give them that. Now, if they're just coming here to troll and screw around and dick around, fine, that's one thing. But when someone is willing to talk and you don't give them that chance to talk, that's where the clash does start to happen. If you're both here to screw around and piss each other off, go ahead. But if one's here for talk and the other one is not, and they're not disrespecting, that's where the clash is gonna happen. That's where nobody learns anything apart from fuck this guy.
I agree.
If one side's here to dick around, the other side's here to dick around, everyone's being a dick, that's no problem. That's just as fun. But if you're really here for the dialogue, give that guy the dialogue. Get serious for it.
Nothing's gonna get resolved unless you're open-minded to the other person's opinion.
Yeah.
And that's very important. You can't go into a conversation already
knowing you're right,
saying the person is wrong before they've even said anything. Be open-minded. Try to understand what that person is saying, and try to understand where they're coming from. A lot of people have had a lot of depression, have had a lot of issues in life, and this is why certain people have certain opinions about stuff, and this is why certain people have stronger opinions about stuff. But like I said, be open-minded to everybody. That's all you can ask for right now.
And everyone has a story. A lot of these people ask, oh, why are you this way? They ask me, why do you believe in the things you do? Why are you the way you are? I tell them these are my experiences. And why do you think of this way? Because with me it was A, B, and C. With this it was X, Y, and Z. I have, I know there are some people who aren't, but the stances that I have, I know exactly why I have those stances. I have, my experiences, my sources, what have you. But I'm only going to speak for myself on this one. I know why I am the way I am. I know why I believe what I believe. I know it. So if you ask me, why do you believe this? Why do you believe that? I will tell you why. You don't have to agree with it. You could think I'm wrong, but these are my reasons. And I will be able to tell you those reasons. That's the thing. You ask, oh, why are you this way? You're this, you're calling people, you're name dropping. Again, you're not solving anything. If anything, you're just pushing me farther to my side. That doesn't help you. Again, if we're here for the dialogue, don't come in here thinking you're already right before the guy has something to say, and don't come in here thinking you're gonna change people's minds. That shouldn't really even be your aim, unless otherwise said so. Your aim should be have a dialogue. If you want people to come on your side, but they're objectively wrong, and you want to help them out, that's one thing. But don't come in here thinking, that you're gonna turn this guy into someone who's got my point of views. Don't. Just trade opinions, have a dialogue, have an open discussion, respect each other by the end of the day. I'm down for the discussion. I'm down for the talking. I'm down for the dialogue. That's fine. I don't gotta agree with him, and I don't on some things. But he wants to talk, let the man talk.
Yep.
Listen to listen to some things. Go back and forth. It's a game. It's a game of tennis. Just go back and forth with it. Again, you could still be opponents, but you can respect each other. That's it. If I can beat you in a sport and still shake your hand, I should be able to talk to you and disagree with you and still shake your hand also.
Of course. And I'm a big sports fan, so I really like that analogy you gave. And I agree with you. There should be more conversations like this.
No.
There should be more conversations like this.
There should definitely be more one-on-ones too.
And I just want to say that I know there are people out there that are saying, you're specifically. I'm not saying you're targeting women. I'm saying, but like.
No, it's just one of the.
For my opinion, let's just say you're specifically targeting one small group of women that are saying like,
hate men, kill all men, all that. Yeah,
exactly. And those are all hateful people.
Right.
So in general, it doesn't matter if they're women or men. All it matters is that they're just hateful people.
But what I will say is this: that those hateful women, you do see them having a backing with the media and all that stuff. You do see it. I have seen it. I do. And I'll tell you, again, I've seen this a lot. You see it on the internet, you see it in schools, you see it, in the media. How many? Name me a sitcom that doesn't have the following: the father who's a bumbling idiot and the mom who's got to save his ass all the way. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but then again, when that's what a lot of these guys grow up in, that's usually what it becomes.
Right.
And that's this is the things that I would like to bring to light to a lot of guys, to open their eyes to, this is the kind of BS that is going on, that's kind of hurting us. You know what I mean? Not saying disrespect women to get back at them. No, it's realize that there's something that's not right.
Yeah, there's definitely something that's not right, but I wouldn't categorize all women.
No.
And the people that you are talking about is less than 1% of the population of New York or America.
But again, if they have a voice,
and
that's where the problem is.
But I don't think those people are affecting our lives as much as you think they are, and or as you should let them affect you. You shouldn't let them affect you.
Right. And my thing would be but look how many other guys feel that way. Look at how many other many other groups of guys and other women as well who are tired of that stuff.
Tired of what?
Like the man hating and the sick, the feminism that takes it too far. Men are terrible. You're toxic masculinity stuff.
Right.
That level of insanity. These angry men hating dykes that try to tell boys how to be men. That influence. It's not. I know it's not just me. There's many men who feel that way.
Of course.
Who are also just as tired of it as
I don't think you're alone with this subject either.
What I would say is, there are a lot of guys, if it's just one guy complaining, you can write it off. But if, there are many other men, I would say try to take, maybe there's some concern.
Actually, I think if you have one man complaining, you shouldn't write it off. I think everybody deserves that respect.
When one person complains about something, it's one thing. But when 1,000 people complain about something, then
1,000 out of
one meaning one is the probability of being an anomaly. Several is a pattern.
Yeah.
No. When the pattern comes to play, that's when it's time to pay attention to it. An anomaly, anyone can throw it away. That's what I mean by one guy, as in that. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's my case, and that's why I'm trying to talk about this stuff, because again, even though I know you'll disagree with me,
And it's okay, because at the end of the day, I respect you.
Exactly, that's it. But what I will say is this: my stance is that you look at your societies, you look at all your your empires, your this, your that. Yeah, it was built on conquering and all that, but everyone's conquered. Thing is though, it's always been the men that have done the building and the maintaining of the society.
Well, in your opinion, what would be the solution to this?
Um,
And I know that's a very hard question to ask
It is
you,
no,
but
no. It is. It is. It is. There's a lot of variables to take into consideration. You know, it's a big task. It's a very hard question. It's a big question. What do you mean by how to fix this problem?
yeah, how
Like
to
with the one that I've been talking about?
yeah.
It would honestly have to be just getting rid of all these outer influences. You know, like your TVs, you're making those jokes. A lot of school system, it favors women. The way the tests are, the way the behavior, the zero tolerance policies,
Favorite women.
the way that tests are written. I can't articulate this rightly, but the way that the school curriculums and the way the work is, the way they're designed, it does favor females.
It does.
Yes.
Okay.
And even though I can't say it exactly how, I wouldn't encourage you to look it up. If you have the time, whatever.
No, I definitely will.
But
yeah,
sure.
sure.
I know I've seen it now, and I'm not just talking out of my ass. But that your TVs, your TV shows as a kid. Another
Well,
thing.
the problem with TV is TV's always going to sell out,
It is.
and TV's always going to put out there what's
Right.
going to sell. So I mean, you can't do
That-
anything
no, that
about
I
that.
understand,
You can't
right.
do anything about that. You can't do
But what
anything
we
about
should do,
commercials.
but also, as parents, all that, get involved. Know what your kids are watching. That's nothing. The music you're listening to. The kid, you should always know. I remember when I was like, what, 8, 9 years old. South Park was the big thing. All the kids wanted to watch it. I asked my mom, like, hey mom, can I, mind if I watch it? She was like, oh, let me just watch an episode and see what it's like.
8 and 9 is too young to be
Exactly,
watching South
right.
Park.
And the thing is, my mom, she saw it, and she saw an episode to check it out. She said no. She said, no, 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 you're not watching that stuff. So
too
again, that's things like that. Man, we need to pave a way for stronger men and better father figures. Because our mother figures are already doing well. Well, they're already doing a lot.
So our mother figures are already strong women doing a lot.
Right, but the thing is, they're women that are trying to fill the man's role. That's the thing.
Because the man's not there.
Right, and if he is there, he's not doing a good job. We need, women are being, and I don't blame the women. Women are being forced to fill in what the men are supposed to be doing.
So you're blaming media.
I'm not just the media. There's several other factors that I see that are on the attack.
You're blaming extreme feminists.
No,
Okay.
not even them. I'm blaming, and again, it does seem far-fetched that I'm gonna say, things like the media.
Listen, I've heard the craziest things.
Right,
So
okay.
there's nothing that's far fetched.
My thing is, it's going to be, your feminists that have this voice, which essentially is the media as well. You have, your school systems, which, are always catering to the girls and always telling boys, your school systems, your history, what are the history books full of? And your social studies teacher, oh, men are bad, men this, boys are bad, white men are evil, this and that, all that.
But what
things
also
like that.
are American history books filled of? They don't talk about a lot of
a lot of other things.
A lot of the bad stuff
No,
that America has
also,
done.
America's
throughout the
done
world.
bad and good, understandable, you're right.
Yeah.
But then again, also, our education system in general, especially our history system in general, is very bad.
It's been bad for a while.
I've heard Russian, I know Russians, I can ask them, hey, where's Venezuela on the map? They'll know exactly where. You ask a Chinese person, where's Costa Rica? Hey, you're right over there. You ask an American, where's Missouri? Beats me.
Okay.
It's just a bad system in general.
Yeah.
But on top of being bad, it's also, hurting in this way also instead. You also have a lot of estrogen in the food, xenoestrogens in the food that are hormone blocking for boys. That's why you see a lot of boys nowadays hitting puberty very late.
Hormone blocking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Testosterone blocking.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of boys.
Luckily,
now.
I haven't had that problem.
Me neither. Luckily,
So-
thank God. But you see, a lot of these kids. How many guys you see? They're really, really skinny. They have extremely high-pitched voices. They're all wearing glasses because they have shit eyesight.
Okay.
They're very small.
And you blame that to
That
the food?
the food has estrogen in it.
Right,
A lot.
okay.
And
I always actually thought it was the opposite. I always actually thought everybody that was being grown up here was just getting bigger and stronger.
big as in fat though, right?
Both, because you can get fat, but you can at the same time get taller and stuff like that.
But mean, what I'm saying, like your a lot of our food products, they're extremely cancerous.
Okay.
What is I think the statistic is a kid who eats about 12 hot dogs within a month has several times higher chance of getting leukemia than any other, like the chemicals in our food, again, like those estrogens. Boys are hitting puberty way later, girls are hitting it way earlier. And the sexualization is just, winding up. I mean, look at your pop music. It's all about sex, drugs, this, that, alcohol, and it's always been for a very long time. I know that too. But that doesn't make it any better, it's these poor guys, look at your feminism, women liberation, this, that, all that stuff, da 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 da. Man, oh, you're terrible. Boys are supposed to, you see these guys are supposed to be, docile, and oh, women love guys who are sensitive, who are in tune with their feminine side, and this and that. But you look at those guys, they're not getting laid worth shit. They're getting friend zoned left and right. They're not, they don't got no chance. The girl's just, waving him around her finger, using him for whatever. And she's screwing off the real guy, the guy who's at least, more of a man at least, the douchebag as they say.
Right.
But those nice guys and whatever, and then, they're getting screwed too.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, like I was saying earlier, to an extent, it's not their fault because they don't have, the lack of a father figure, the media that's not helping them, the school system, the culture they're growing up around them is they feel like
sometimes
they're being attacked.
a lack of a father figure makes a boy a stronger man in the future. And like I said, like you would consider yourself a strong person, right?
I try to be.
Okay. And
but then again,
you didn't have that father figure that you wanted.
But I will always wish I did.
Of course.
No matter how strong I am in the future, even if I turn out to be the best father for my kids, I would still always wish I had a good father figure. I will still always wish it. I really think it is a shame when boys do not grow up with father figures, because a lot of the time, to me, that means they could be, screwed. Like these, what is it?
Is it a shame when children don't grow up with mother figures and only
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, it's both ways.
Okay.
But my thing is, a father figure to me, the way I see it is also more important. For the fact that, again,
because it's a boy.
No.
Okay.
No, with girls as well.
With girls as well. Okay.
The reason I think personally a father figure is more important, not again. When I say more important, I mean the man has a bigger role in the house, not to belittle the mother's role. And that's the thing. I don't say it to belittle the mom's side.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, like what you were saying before.
I'm saying is just the man does have.
I grew up in that household where my mom
was doing everything.
Cook, clean every day.
Yeah.
My dad would work hard, but
go.
I never thought of my mom as lesser of a person than my dad.
Yeah. And it's not about lesser. And my thing is, I don't like this equality thing, this whole anti-gender role thing. I think it's absolute BS. Men have their role, women have theirs, in the house and in society. We, men and women, we have our differences, but those differences, they fit each other. It's a puzzle piece. Men need the women need the men.
So you would prefer to go back to like societies like in the 40s and 50s?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Men are the men, women are the women. They both have their roles. We don't have to be equal in that we're the exact same, but we should be equal in that we both have a very strong role in society. We have the foundation.
What if the man couldn't make enough money to support the family and the woman also had to go out there?
Fine. That's, those situations, you can't, I'm not gonna, it's not black and white.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to play it off as black and white. Nothing is black and white.
Okay.
There should be, however, a direct foundation. But sometimes, obviously, the man, there's hard times, and the mom needs a job too, and all that. That if that's your situation, you have to go through it. That's how you got to take care of your life. Go ahead. I'm not saying, man, sometimes if man has to swallow his pride for such things, if that's the best decision, fine. It has to happen. It's got to happen. What are you gonna feel is a man gonna be happy if his family's starving, but he's the only one with the job? No,
of course not.
Screw it. That's stupid. It's dumb to think that.
Right.
But that's the thing. In general, for the most part, as a society as a whole, I would prefer if it was men going out, working, getting the jobs, paying the bills. And think of it like this. Think of it like this, okay? Women, nowadays they're making, they also have jobs. Very, very little women just are stay-at-home moms, right?
And there's also women that are CEOs of companies too.
Exactly, yeah. What I'm saying is, fathers, they're always going out and getting the money. But so is the mom as well these days. But here's the thing. The mom, when she comes home from work, she's still going to do the mom stuff. The cooking, the cleaning, the kids with the homework, the this, that. She's still doing the mom stuff at home after work. But without her having a job, she has more time to herself to finish it and take care of the kids. Think of it like this. This is what I would prefer. I'm out at work. I'm taking care of the bills, the job, the mortgage, the this, and that, all that junk, all the money stuff, and then come home and I'm the man of the house and all that. But what I was also like is, my wife, she's taking care of the house while I'm away and all that. But I would also love it if she could homeschool the kids. Homeschooling, because think of it like this: the kid is at home, spending time with mom. If the mom is the teacher, how are you gonna, you can trust the mother the mom. She's obviously gonna want her kid to actually be smart. The mom is gonna want her kid to be intelligent. The father's gonna know my kid's gonna grow up, smart, because who's teaching them? Mom and dad.
So back to the mother role. So let's just say they both have to work because of financial problems.
And the kids got to go to school.
So the dad gets home early. He gets home at like 5, right. And the mom actually doesn't get home until like 8 or 9.
Right.
Shouldn't the father pitch in and
absolutely,
cook
yeah,
and clean?
Yeah.
So he's becoming the mother role
he's filling it in. He's filling in the mother role that the mom can't because of her job.
So there isn't a mother role then.
There is a mother role. It's just the father's filling it.
Okay.
I mean, again, just based on
the mother role can be taken by a man or a woman.
Yes, but only in cases where it needs to be.
When it needs to be.
Right.
Okay.
If if there's if a man can go work out and be the man of the family, but he chooses to be a stay-at-home dad and the mom work, that I don't agree with. If it has to be that way, if that's the only way that can happen based on whatever circumstances there are.
So you wouldn't agree with a woman doing the 9 to 5 and the man staying home and taking care of the kids and
if it can be the man doing all that, being the man, and the woman being the woman, but they choose to do it the other way around, I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it?
If the man has to stay at home, because if it's a medical condition or what have you, if there's no other choice.
Let's just say it's like she has found a better job, a higher paying job, and he has to stay home and take care of the kids because nobody else is going to take care of the kids. She has to go to work because she has a higher paying job. So, do you agree with that, or you don't agree with that?
I mean, if it has to be that way, if it has to, then it has to.
Now, if they both have equal income,
right,
and the mom decides to go to work, and the dad prefers to stay home and do the cooking and the cleaning and provide for the children, you don't agree?
I don't agree with, no. Because he as a man still has his man, he should have his male role. Again, I'm going off straight tradition, straight up, old school.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I've seen it and it works. I don't like this I prefer the man go out and make the money and he comes home to a clean house. Everyone loves him. He's the man of the house, the king of the castle. Because again, it's not just him. It's not just the house he's taking care of. It's the families. And usually, as the man, he's taking care of, helping society too, going with the boys and all that stuff. Again, men as a whole also do have a much bigger role outside the house. And that also needs to. That's another thing that's been taken away. Is that men's role is being taken over by the state, the government.
Right.
Look at welfare. Look what it did to the black family in this country. It decimated them. The black father doesn't exist, but the government exists. The government will provide for you. The government will take care of you. The government will.
Why doesn't the black father exist?
Welfare, I think, is a big part of it because there's been much worse. As far as fatherlessness after welfare happened. I mean, it was bad enough, but the welfare system made it exponentially worse. And as far as that goes, why it's so bad, that I can't say. That I'm not sure. That I don't know. And I couldn't tell you why they are the way they are, why it is the way it is. I can't. I'm not. That's not my position. That's not really anyone's business. That's a general thing. But it does suck. I don't like. It does suck when you got these poor black kids growing up, and they don't have a chance right out the womb. Because let's face it, a lot of them don't, and it's not their fault.
Why don't they have a chance?
Because they grow up in these terrible neighborhoods. They grow up in these bad conditions. They grow up with most of the time terrible mother figures, who I'm not gonna say all the time, but sometimes only have the kid just to get a bigger welfare check. How many stories about some she's got 10 kids across 8 fathers, and most of it's just the welfare, but she's complaining, who's gonna feed my kids? This again. When you have these, when you're not giving birth to these kids because there's a mommy and daddy waiting for them that love each other, that kid most likely is gonna be screwed either way. It's terrible, honestly.
Do you agree that some great people do come from broken homes and poverty?
Yeah, it's again, sometimes that happens. They break free from that. They break the mold, so to speak, and they become strong person and they get out of that.
Do you agree that
awesome.
Sometimes they become strong people because at an early age?
Yeah, they were forced
to learn how to provide for themselves, how to not just sit around and wait for their parents to come home and feed them, and they would have to
I had a coworker. He was
take care of their sisters and their brothers.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm turning something negative into
positive.
Positive.
Right. Yeah, and it happens, and it's awesome when it does, and it's amazing. It's a great story. I respect any and everyone who comes from that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have been in that situation, but they did it, and it's amazing. It's extremely hard, when they do it. So obviously, I give them all the praise and all the respect in the world for that, But also on the other hand, though, it's not very common. It doesn't happen all the time, But the fact that it does happen is a good thing.
It's a great thing that it does happen.
Yeah.
When it does happen.
But I would prefer that those people are not in that situation in the first place where they have to break out,
Yeah.
I mean, if they can do it, that's amazing. But why why have their life be so hard in the first place?
Okay, so I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So, you want to go back to old traditions, and sometimes you want to. I feel that you want to blame sometimes women in society for having children, so they can collect more.
Well, yeah.
Higher.
When it's just for it's just when you're having a kid just to get a bigger welfare check.
Okay.
That's my problem.
Can we blame men for leaving these women?
Also, yes.
So
right.
Could it be,
I'm blaming both sides.
Could it be publicly known that men should be blamed for leaving
absolutely.
a woman that's pregnant with their son? Or
I blame them both equally in that case.
Okay.
I blame him for with using screwing with that protection and leaving her. I blame her for allowing it to happen also as well. Because again, sex isn't accidental. Sex takes 2 people.
I agree.
It's his fault for also doing it and not taking care of the kid when he's born. It's also her fault for having also.
But I think it's important to let it be known that the man should be equally.
Both equally, yes.
Equally. Yeah. As wrong as the woman.
Yeah, they're both equally as wrong.
Okay.
There's different reasons, but on the amount of wrongness, it's equal.
Now, can you sometimes make the suggestion that maybe the woman was hoping that the guy would stay around and love her and be a father figure, and then he just decided to split? But so maybe at that point they shouldn't be equally blamed?
I mean, why leave it to chance? Why, if she's thinking of, if I do have a kid from this, hopefully he stays. That's bad odds. That's gambling.
No, I'm not saying that she decided to have a kid hopefully he would stay. I would say that many times women are in relationships with men that tell them that they love them and they will never leave them, and the woman decides to.
If she's been duped, that's one thing.
So there can't be equal blame there. if
In that situation,
if
they
the woman
can't.
if the woman has all the right intentions of building a father with this man,
Right.
and the man just splits,
Yeah, that's wrong.
so there can't be equal.
In that situation, there can't be.
Okay.
Because if she fully knows, oh, it's gonna be awesome, I have a kid on the way, gonna have a great father, and the kid's born, and the dude splits. Uh-oh. You know, she's screwed. Right. And
And
it's not her fault.
And
No,
it's not
and
her
that-
fault.
It's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
Right. I'm not
Okay.
I wouldn't blame her. You can't. If she fully in her head knew that it was going to be great, and then boom, the rug pulls under her feet, that's not her fault. You can't blame her, you know? But only, I'm talking about the situation when both of them, they just pull their pants down really quick for a quickie. Turns out the thing was, the kids come, oh, hey, well, what's going on? That's when I blame them. Because it's like, well, hold on. And if they
But you're not
purposely-
targeting a specific race. You're anybody in
No,
general.
in general.
Anybody in general
Yeah,
that
anyone
makes
in
those
general.
mistakes in
But
life.
I will say it is much, much more prominent in the black community. And that's what one of the big problems is that led to this issue that they have today.
Poverty.
No, this in general, what I'm speaking of, the way the situation is, the poverty and the bad and the
The men. Okay.
all that stuff. It's we know patterns. We see. We look at the numbers. You don't even have to look at the numbers. You just know. When someone says, "Oh, hey, you're going into a white neighborhood today," you're like, "Okay, it's gonna be easy." Oh, you're going to a black neighborhood today. It's gonna be hard. Deal is. Your brain recognizes the patterns. You have the stereotypes. Your brain has the information. When this is this, oh, it's bad. When this is this, it's good. That's the thing. That's also something I don't like. Is this whole, it's like, oh, there's there's good and bad in all races. Oh, there's you're always gonna get this with people. You're always gonna get that. It's kind of muddying the waters and all that stuff.
Do you believe there's bad people everywhere, no matter
do,
where you're from, no matter
I believe there is
what color you are, no matter
I
what
believe there is
nationality?
bad in every race, but you still have to take into account whether it's more than others.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's bad apples in this barrel, there's bad apples in that barrel, but this one, half of them are bad, and this one, a couple of them are bad. You also have to recognize that difference. The amount also
So
sometimes helps.
should we keep the barrel with only a couple of bad apples, and should we get rid of the barrel with all the bad apples, or should we just get rid of the bad apples in general?
If you're in a situation where you have to keep one barrel and you have to throw away the other one, you're gonna go with the one that's got better apples in it.
Yeah, but I don't think we're forced. We're not in that
No,
situation.
we're not forced.
We're not in that situation.
Save all the good apples, obviously, but also when you're gonna go to a certain place, you also have to know, is this a place with more good apples than bad apples, or is it the other way around, or what's the deal? You have to assess. That's still it's a variable as well.
I mean, yeah, that's
when
always,
you have to assess the situation.
That's always going to be in the
that's a
back
thing.
of your mind. I agree with that.
And you should always consider the things that your brain tells you. Go with your gut feeling. That always.
In general, you should always protect yourself and always be aware of your surroundings. You always hear news about somebody that, let's just say this poor young lady that got murdered in Howard Beach. And they say,
oh, the jogger.
Stuff like this never happens in our neighborhood. Stuff like this never happens in our neighborhood. You know what? It could happen anywhere you are. So just be aware of your surroundings, be aware of everything.
But also, what I would have to say to that is, would you rather jog in Howard Beach, or would you rather jog in Bed-Stuy at 8 at night?
Would I rather? I rather? I think that would depend on where I live. So if I have to take a train to go to Howard Beach and jog there, I'm not gonna do that. If I live in Bed-Stuy,
aside from that,
okay.
If someone said, okay, you got these two choices, let's just say for the sake of the argument, okay, you got to jog at Bed-Stuy at 10 at night, or you could jog at Howard Beach at 10 at night, and they only give you those two choices.
They only give me those two choices?
Let's just say, where would you?
I've never been worried about jogging, so.
No, but for the sake of the argument, would you rather?
I would rather be in a safer neighborhood, but I wouldn't necessarily say that Bed-Stuy is a dangerous neighborhood than Howard Beach. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know what's going on. So and that's coming from somebody that's lived in Bed-Stuy growing up. I lived in Bed-Stuy growing up. I lived in Maspeth growing up. I lived in Astoria growing up. I lived in Brooklyn and Queens, and I've gotten robbed in Brooklyn.
Right.
I've gotten robbed in Queens.
Right.
It didn't matter what neighborhood I was in. But at the same time, I don't have to worry about what some of these women have to worry about when they go jogging.
Right.
You know? Most men are not going to attack me jogging because, one, I likely don't have any money on me. So I don't worry about jogging. And I don't like jogging in general. I'd prefer to play basketball. But if I do go jogging, I never worry about a man attacking me because that's something that I don't think I have to worry about, but I should always be aware of it. I think women should be more concerned about that.
Right. You always, yeah, you're gonna have women as targets as well.
Women are always going to be targets because they some it's the whole rape thing. It's the whole rape thing.
Yeah,
you know.
course. Yeah, you always, yeah. Women, I would definitely always advise against women just jogging alone at night. I would
Anywhere, because you could just hear, like Howard Beach, this amazing neighborhood, and something like that terrible happens. It could happen anywhere. So I advise jogging late at night by yourself. You know, so just stay safe. Everybody, just stay safe.
Yeah.
Anyways, I gotta get going.
Yeah, me too. What is it? 10:30?
It is 10:31.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta
go now.
It was
All
nice
right.
meeting you, man.
Good talking to you.
Nice meeting you.
Awesome. Good sharing ideas again. And no one came in here thinking we weren't trying to change each other's mind. Just conversation. That's that. So I'm gonna head out. Bag Anon signing off. Alright, man. See you.
Alright, man. Just want to say he'll not divide us, and hopefully I get to see everybody tomorrow. He'll not divide us. He'll not divide us. He'll not divide us. He'll not divide us. Peace. One love.